If you're ready to explore the Hebrew roots of your Christian faith, then grab your Bible and let's get started. Welcome to Reconcile the Kingdom, where we're working towards becoming in harmony of the whole word of truth. My name is Patrice Robinson, and I appreciate you stopping by here on today. Yesterday, we covered chapter 5 of the book of Joshua. We have the children of Israel who was been circumcised. For those that were not circumcised during the time of the wilderness, there was still some disobedience in the wilderness, so they did not circumcise their children on the 8th day like they was instructed. We have the children of Israel celebrating the Passover and unleavened bread. We have the manna that was given to them every morning up to the 6th day, ended when they ate off the land, when they used the grain to make their bread, their cakes, the unleavened bread for the feast. Yehovah provided for the first time for them from the land. We ended with a discussion of the angel, and hopefully if you missed that, you will go back at the end of this video, you'll catch up with us and make your comment about the angel. Today we are reading chapter 6, covering 2 areas. Understanding the contents. Is there any other book, any other letter, any other writings that we have to connect to make sure we have a good clarification and foundation of chapter 6 of the book of Joshua? Okay, I have my Joshua with me. I hope you have your Joshua in front of you. Always have the word in front of you. So I'm going to turn to chapter 6, and here we go. Reading verses 1 through 5. Now Jericho was straitly shut up because of the children of Israel. None went out and none went in. And Yehovah, Lord, said to Joshua, See, I have given you unto thy hand Jericho, and the king thereof, and the mighty men of valor. And yes, and ye will compass the city, all ye men of war, and go around about the city once. Thus shalt thou do for 6 days. And 7 priests shall bear before the ark 7 trumpets of ram horns, and the 7th day shall compass the city 7 times, and the priests shall blow the trumpets. And it shall come to pass that when they make a long blast with the ram's horn, and you hear the sound of the trumpet, and all the people shall shout with a great shout, and the wall of the city shall fall down flat, and the people shall ascend upon every man straight before him. Yehovah is giving Joshua specific instructions for the children of Israel to follow. To tell the truth, they've already won this war, at least as long as they follow the instructions. The man of war and the 7 priests shall carry 7 trumpets, shall walk around once for 6 days. The man of war and the 7 priests with the 7 trumpets. On the 7th day they shall march around 7 times, blow the trumpets with a great shout. Remember, the trumpets are to be blown for specific reasons. The book of Numbers explains the reason for the silver trumpets, the shofar, the ram's horn, to be blown announcing the feast, the new moon, which is the new month, when to assemble for war and to move. We can read this in Numbers chapter 10, verses 8 through 9. The sons of Aaron, moreover, the priests, the sons of Aaron, moreover, the priests, shall blow the trumpets, and this shall be a permanent statute for you throughout your generations. Only the priests, the sons of Aaron, can blow the shofar in this time. And when you go to war in the land against the enemy who attacks you, then you shall sound an alarm with the trumpet, so that you will be thought of by Yehovah your God and be saved from your enemy. They are following, again, we see the children of Israel following the instructions that was implementing the instructions that was given to them by Yehovah, taught by Moses to them. We're going to go on. We are on now verse 6 through 14. And Joshua the son of Nun called the priests and said to them, Take up the ark of the covenant, and let 7 priests bear 7 trumpets of ram's horn before the ark of the Lord. And he said unto the people, Pass on and pass the city, and let them that is armed pass before the ark of Yehovah. And it came to pass, when Joshua had spoken to the people, that the 7 priests bear the the 7 trumpets of ram's horns, passed on before Yehovah, and blew with the trumpets. And the ark of the covenant of Yehovah followed them. And the armed men went before the priests that blew with the trumpets, and the reward came after the ark, the priests going on and blowing with the trumpets. And Joshua had commanded the people, saying, You should not shout, nor make any noise with your voice, neither shall any word proceed out of your mouth until the day I bid you to shout, then you shall shout. In other words, be quiet. So the ark of Yehovah come past the city, going about it once, and they came unto the camp and lodged in the camp. And Joshua rose early in the morning, and the priests took up the ark of Yehovah, and the 7 priests bearing 7 trumpets of ram's horn before the ark of Yehovah went on continually, and blew with the 7 trumpets, and the armed men went before them. But the reward came after the ark of Yehovah, the priests going on and blowing with the trumpets. And the second day they compassed the city once and returned to the camp. So they did 6 days. Joshua began giving out the order, the position of the people, the men, the war, and the priests. We will also get additional information such as the Ark of Covenant will be carried by the priests, and the people remain silent. Remember, he said, don't utter a word, don't shout, don't say anything. The children of Israel obeyed the war strategy instructions that was given by Yehovah for 6 days. Carrying the Ark of Covenant is showing that Yehovah is with them. That is his mercy seat. That is the one piece of furniture that the people would normally not see unless the camp is moving. Remember, the Ark of Covenant normally would sit in the tabernacle and the holies of holies, and no one's seeing it on a regular basis because you're only allowed to go in, which is the priest, the high priest is only allowed to go into holies of holies once a year for the feast of the Day of Atonement. We're moving on, verses 15 through 21. And it came to pass on the 7th day that they rose early about the drawing of the day and encompassed the city after the same manner 7 times. Only on that day they encompassed the city 7 times. And it came to pass on the 7th time when the priest blew with the trumpets, Joshua said unto the people, Shout, for Yehovah hath given you the city, and the city shall be a curse, even it and all that are therein, to the Yehovah. Only Rahab the harlot shall live, she and all that were with her in the house, because she had hid the messengers that were sent. And you in any wise keep yourselves from the accursed thing, lest you make yourself a curse when you take on the accursed thing and make the camp of Israel a curse and trouble it. But all the silver and gold and vessels of brass and iron are consecrated unto Yehovah. They shall come into the treasury of Yehovah. So the people shouted when the priest blew the trumpets, and it came to pass when the people heard the sound of the trumpet, and the people shouted with a great shout, that the wall fell down flat, so that the people went up into the city, every man straight before him, and they took the city. And they utterly destroyed all that was in the city, both man and woman, young and old, ox and sheep and ass, with the edge of the sword. This is the 7th day, and there are these important details that Joshua was given to prevent trouble from coming on to Israel. Don't touch Rahab and her family. Restore everything as an offering to Yehovah. Keep nothing to take into your camp, but save the silver, the gold, the bronze, and the iron to set it apart for Yehovah. He gave specific instructions for them to follow. When you go over here, this is what you do. He explained to them. The trumpet sounded, the people shouted, the wall fell down, and the people rushed in and destroyed everything, everyone, and every animal by the sword. Continue on, verse 22 to 27. But Joshua said unto the 2 men that had spied out the country, Go into the hardest place, and bring out thence the woman and all she hath, as ye swore unto her. And the young men that were spies went in and brought out Rahab, and her father, and her mother, and her brethren, and all that she had. And they brought out all her kindred, left them throughout the camp of Israel. And they burned the the city with fire and all that was therein. Only the silver and the gold and the vessels of brass and iron they put into the treasury of the house of Yehovah. And Joshua saved Rahab in the harlot alive in her father's household, all that she had, and she dwelt in Israel even until this day, because she hid the messengers which Joshua sent a spy out to Jericho. And Joshua adjourned them at the time, saying, Cursed be the man before Yehovah that raises up and buildeth this city Jericho. He shall lay the foundation thereof on his firstborn, and his youngest son should be set up the gates of it. So Yehovah was with Joshua, and his fame was noised throughout all the country. I love the King James versions of what they say things. But Joshua had two spies who gathered Rahab and her family and placed them in the camp of the children of Israel. Rahab became a great figure more ways than one. She is of the bloodline of Yeshua. Of course, many of you knew that. From Matthew chapter 1, verse 5. Shalom fathered Boaz by Rahab. Boaz fathered Obed by Ruth. And Obed fathered Jesse. She's listed on the trumps of faith in the book of Hebrews, chapter 11, verse 31. By faith, the prostitute Rahab did not perish alone, and those who were disobedient after she had welcomed the spies in peace. She was also acknowledged by James because her faith and works. In the same way was Rahab the prostitute not justified by works, also when she received the messengers and sent them out by another way. What a journey for one that was from a pagan nation and practiced prostitution. The power of Yehovah can show us all the way. This is miraculous to see that this person by faith who received Yehovah, who heard about all the things that he did for the children of Israel leaving Egypt, she accepted Yehovah as her own and wanted to join in with the children of Israel, because she could have easily got saved and left. No, she remained with the children of Israel, and she became a great person, great figure of the bloodline of Yeshua. The chapter ends with Joshua cursing the land not to be rebuilt, and his fame went well throughout the land because he was with Yehovah. Today, we connected to Matthew, Hebrews, Numbers, James. All this information gave us a better understanding of chapter 6 of the book of Joshua. I have been having a wonderful time connecting the scriptures and ensuring that we understand the contents. I think that's really the important step that I'm trying to go through this. If this is the first time that we go through the book of Joshua, I'm pretty sure there will be another time. But it's just really understanding the contents is really, really important. I hope you enjoyed this biblical content, that you hit that subscribe button. Don't forget the bell for future notice of uploads. Till tomorrow, which will be on chapter 7 of the book of Joshua. May Yehovah bless you and keep you. May He shine His face on you and give you His favor. May He shine His face towards you and give you His peace. In the mighty name of Yeshua. Amen. Thank you.